Hello everyone, welcome to this message. So as our first card today, we get Fairies of the Future. And then what follows is the Undressing of a Salad and the Unity card. So let's see. And this already gives an abundantly clear message to me. And as the overall energy, we get the Angel of Strength and we have Rarity. So it could be that you are exhibiting a rare strength, a rare ability, for example, to rise above, perhaps, to control your shadow, because the strength card usually has something to do with um, the dark side of yourself, right? Like your animalistic side, your your instincts, your animal nature. So if you would look at all of that, right, it could also be control of self. So there's something about that you may have a rare control over self. Maybe things like, for example, angelic patience, angelic endurance, perhaps. So there's something about that you have angelic strength. Whether this is an angelic patience, angelic mastery over lower instincts, or like instincts in and of themselves, that you have a mastery over that. So there's something about that. There's something rare about this. And then you have the fairies of the future. So I do think that that you are maybe exhibiting a lot of rare strength in terms of like self mastery of instincts, for example, when it comes to this here. So this talks about making decisions, pretty much like um, being being discerning, maybe as well. So it could be that you have a rare strength of discernment, perhaps that your discernment is incredibly strong in a very rare kind of way. So it's rare to come about someone who has such a rare discernment as you may have, right? And it could have something to do with because this has to do with, if you look at this card, to me has to do with someone like this gnome saying like you should go that way, and you always having like this connection to yourself where you are always able to resist and go in your own direction. So to continuously discern and always to be going in your own direction. So to be making decisions that are in alignment with you, right? Like making your own decisions in life. So you consider things, but you don't um, act upon that, perhaps, right? And maybe also as it comes to deciding in and of itself, it could be that you have a rare strength in terms of instincts when it comes to deciding, so that you take a lot of time. Maybe because an angel makes me think about angelic patience, right? So it could be that as you are deciding, that you have an incredible strength over your own instincts, over your own an incredible mastery over self, that you're not very impulsive, right? That you are capable of really discerning whether this is a decision you want to make, even when there's a lot of pressure from the outside world. Like you keep on making your decisions, and they keep on being in alignment, you could say. Um, and then you have the undressing of a salad, and also because this is like the angels taking you out of a situation and onto the path that you're supposed to be on. This has a further meaning of that you are constantly making sure that you are putting yourself, because the angel now is yourself, right? That you are continuously putting yourself back on the path that you need to be on. So it has something to do with that. And then you have the undressing of a salad. So you are discerning, and it is maybe you're also discerning in quite an impossible situation. So maybe there's a lot of pressure from the outside world, a lot of influence from the outside world, and you still keep on making decisions. You still keep on discerning the right path for yourself that is in alignment with yourself, right? And more than that, that is in alignment with your blueprint, you could say, with the divine plan for your life. So you keep on making those decisions and keep on perhaps considering redirecting, and continuously you are putting yourself back on that path, and you are navigating an impossible situation, right? So you also may need to make decisions while being in an impossible situation, but also like making decisions as you are navigating the impossible in and of itself, right? And then you have the unity card, so which makes me think about that it's all starting to come together, right? And also there's something about protection. So you are making decisions where you are continuously putting yourself on the right path. Like you're listening what people are saying, but you keep on making the choices that are in the divine plan for your life. You keep on listening, connecting to yourself and discerning that, and like making sure that you're on that path. And this makes me think about, as you are navigating this impossible situation, impossible in and of itself, but also impossible in terms of influences, and to keep on being close to yourself, to keep on discerning the right decision, the decision that is your life path, your destiny, your the divine plan for your life, right? But you're also being protected, so you are navigating this impossible situation, and things are starting to come together. You're starting to see that it is all coming together. But also there's something about divine protection, because this makes me think about being in prayer and having divine protection, right? So God is protecting you, and is also making sure that you stay on that path, right? So it's you, but it's also like something that is protecting you as well. So if you, for example, were to, I do think that you are putting yourself continuously back on track, although there's a lot of influence. But even if that would not be the case, there would be a higher protection, like angelic protection, that would make sure that that happens. So there's a lot of protection as well, loose from that. Um, so let's see, and it also can talk about like prayer as well. This card for me. And then you have the guardian at the gate, which has to do with the moment you were born. So from the crib, I always see like a crib in there. So from the moment you were born, or it could talk about your subconscious guardian as well. It depends a little bit. But I was thinking about like from the moment you were born, pretty much. And there's something about let me see, the oakman. The oakman has something to do with the oak is like the leader of the forest, you could say, right? The king. They call it the king of the forest, right? The king of the trees. So like because it's like kind of like nurtures and takes care of everyone else, right? So there's something about that you are doing this since birth, perhaps, or that you are incredibly stable since birth, whatever that may be, and maybe it will relate more to like the upper cards. And there is something here about an inspiration fairy. So I do think that you are guiding people, that you have been inspiration, a stable inspiration fairy. So you could call it that. I think that that's what it is. That you have been a stable inspiration fairy since the moment you were born, right? Always inspiring people, and also inspiring them on their transitions in life as well, guiding them. I always felt that I was like personally then, right? Like an angel that helps on transitions, pretty much like a guardian angel a little bit. So yeah, so that could be something about that as well. So let's just see. um and then let's go from top to bottom what we get. So we have the fairies of the future, and then you have the guardian at the gate. So you are this, there's also something here about that this is happening since the moment you were born. So it could be that you have this incredible mastery over self and discernment, perhaps, and angelic patience, and whatever it may be, right? The ability to rise above. It may be that you have had that since birth, literally, or that there was a guardian, like a guardian angel inside of you protecting you since birth, or like a guardian angel that was protecting you since birth, and this is like talking to that and like continuously making sure since birth that you are continuously on the right path. But I also think it's the inner angel as well, so like there's also like an inner protection that's always making you discern the right path for you, right? So never, like it could also be like that people influence you, and that you always make your own decisions, you could say. Maybe you've done that your entire life. Maybe you've continuously walked your own path, you made your own decisions, always make decisions that are in alignment with you, right, and with the divine plan for your life. So there could be something about that. And then you have this here, so navigating the impossible, and then you have the oakman. So there's something about It could also be something about listening. So maybe you are listening in a wise manner. So it could be that you have been listening to people in a wise manner since the moment you were born, and that you always had to like navigate the impossible a little bit. So maybe a little bit like that nurturing as well, like navigating impossible situations, nurturing within impossible environments, for example. There's something about it that you are listening, that you are a listener, and that you are listening to people in impossible situations, perhaps. That you are yeah, there's something about that, like a stable listener or something. And then you have like the unity and Penelope Dreamweaver. So there's something about that you have been protected, perhaps even your inspiration, because you are an inspiration fairy, right? So maybe you have always been protected by the inspiration you have been receiving since the moment you were born. And there's like a blind guidance. So you could, this inspiration that you're getting is like it's creating a flow, it's creating a blind guidance, right? That you can just follow, and it always some way somehow it always works out, right? So it always comes together in some kind of way. So you've always had that ability to just follow your inspiration blindly pretty much, and just land on your feet anyway. Things coming together anyway, right? And there's something about, because you are protected, but you're also protected because you are an inspiration fairy, but also because of the inspiration that you are. Your inspiration also protects others perhaps as well, but there's something about like that this inspiration protects you somehow, and that you have been protected as well, right? So let's see. And then you have solace, so it's beautiful. At the bottom of the deck, you get solace, so the light, Jesus. You could see it as Jesus, you could see it as a light, you could see it as God. And then we have God and inner knowing. So there's something most definitely about that you are clarity, right? That you have a gift of clarity, and that you can always connect to your inner knowing, right? That you have a divine inner knowing, maybe also since birth, like a divine inner knowing that provides you with clarity whenever you need it. So that it's like a compass, right? It makes things about the compass here. So it navigates you. It is a compass to you that you can always count on, because it's like a compass, right? It always points north, right? So it always points you in the right direction. And I do think like your inspiration as well as your inner knowing continuously puts you on that path, and make sure that everything will turn out okay, I guess. And you have that's here like your inner compass, and it's like really perfectly calibrate that inner compass, so you can always follow that. There's always clarity available to you in terms of your inner knowing. So you will always know what to do. As you connect with yourself, you will always know what to do. And there's something about that you have this inner compass, and this inner compass always brings you to personal healing and happiness, so it always brings you in the right direction, you could say. So yeah, so that's really beautiful. Um, so I'm wishing you a very beautiful day ahead, and I hope this was helpful. Bye bye.